All right, I was trying to do live, but I'm in the mountains out here in northern Georgia, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let me get back to what I wanted to talk about. Today is Wednesday. Every Wednesday is Economic Day, meaning we're trying to get people to pay attention to their own finances, learning more about investing, saving, things of that nature. Just become stronger finance wise, economic wise. Buy black. Buy black is so important. It's important that white people buy black. If we want to make America stronger, then it will require us putting money into an undercapitalized market. And we know due to systemic racism, the black market has been undercapitalized. So it will be incumbent on white people to spend money with black people. That's real important. It's important that black people spend money with black people. So those are just some of the agenda items on today, which is Economic Day Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday, Health Day. Every Thursday we say concentrate on your own health. Very important. So let's get in on what I want to talk about. The state of black America, GCA, as Gary, Chicago, Atlanta. And so just so you guys know, the purpose of GCA is because of kind of what God has allowed me to go through. Born and raised Chicagoan, all three sides of Chicago. Very, won't say well liked, but respected in Chicago, especially with those who honor consistency, who've been seeing me being consistent over the years. So I appreciate people that can recognize that and who are not emotional, who just go on how they feel, because you don't have to like a person to respect they hustle, to respect what they do. And I can say I've gained some respect in Chicago, which is the toughest place to organize in America. Moved to Gary in 2014, ran for mayor, and gained respect there in Gary, Indiana, with some very, very powerful family known figures there. The Barksdales, the Bogarts, the Jones, people like that that's rooted in Gary, been there for their whole life. Now I'm in Georgia and down in Atlanta, and I can say Atlanta has been somewhat of a disappointment to me. I've been here a year now, and I'm gonna say I haven't been able to crack in. So while I've been disappointed in Atlanta, you know, I've learned, and what I've learned from Atlanta more so is that people use Atlanta, and it's not as I thought it would be. But that's why you have to go and experience for yourself. What I mean by that, unlike Chicago and Gary, you can pull up on certain blocks, engage, and get going. What I've seen in Georgia with all the hills and whatnot, literally, you have to go to apartment complexes and engage people. So that's been a disappointment to me, because when I'm pulling up on you, I don't like you necessarily being able to see me before I get there. And that's a challenge for me. You know, in Chicago, I can park on one block, walk over. And you could do that in some instances here in Georgia, but because you got these complexes everywhere, people are watching, so it's harder to penetrate. So that's just been my outside observation. And the fact is, most of the people I meet, they live in one of the neighboring towns. So I'm in Stone Mountain. I'm over here. I'm in Curtisville. I'm like, wow, well, who's right here? I thought you lived right here. So that's been my experience. Tapping into the schools have definitely been a challenge. I was really despondent with the fact that I wanted to work in one high school and they wanted me to go and pay money to get my own fingerprints and get background check. And I said, wow, what a discouragement that you put this barrier up. What if I can't afford to do that? So I can't impact the young people because I can't afford it. And I think that's unfortunate. Something that hopefully we'll be able to look at down the line in terms of having a hardship process so people can help if they want to help. And so that's been discouraging on the education side here in Georgia, in Atlanta. And then, I've been trying to work with the police and the police chief in particular. And the person I called was really nasty about who you think you are that you can meet with the police chief. And I'm like, wow, Atlanta has 2,000 police. I'm coming from a city, Chicago, that has 13,000 police, and you still got access to the superintendent. So I was a little disheartened that the two institutions in Atlanta was not as easy to work with. But it is what it is. You learn, you move forward. So let's get back into Black America. We have major problems in our community. We have high unemployment. We have music that's teaching our young generation to devalue themselves, especially our sisters. We have a black male population that you on one of three sides. You gay, and everyone is afraid to come out of the closet. So you got a lot of issues that go with that. You gangster, meaning you got to play and be tough. You can't be open and sensitive. Or you highly educated and you don't associate with them people. I don't fit none of those three models, so I'm a little bit on the outside, and that's a problem. So if I'm not a part of your successful group, your sorority, fraternity, whatnot, I'm on the outside. If I'm not a part of your thug life mentality, I'm on the outside. Or if I'm not a part of your gay community, I'm on the outside. Those are problems, and we can't afford that separation as a people because of where we are. Highest unemployment rate, highest murder rate, highest incarceration rate, highest rate dying from preventable diseases. These are all things that are impacting the black community. That's so-called 13% in America. So we can't afford to be divided about things that's critical for us to work together to keep our culture and our race sustainable and growing. So anyway, here's what God gave me, and I think we're gonna really be able to penetrate this. No one can claim victory in Black America if we don't have a national methodology, a national effort to be able to touch other cities. What I mean by that, what we're dealing with is a national problem, and we have leaders who are so caught up with them fixing things themselves, silo and isolated mentality. They think that they can fix things in their city on their own. This is a global issue, but a national issue that is fixable. Global, it require more work. So you're not going to fix the issue that we're facing in your own city. And, in 1994, I had a chance to travel around the world. And that's when I really got a taste of this global perspective. And it pains me when I see our leaders think in one neighborhood. In Chicago in particular, you have an administration, whether it was Mayor Daley or Rahm Emanuel, that benefits from keeping individual neighborhoods feeling like they can be the pride of their neighborhood and they can fix their neighborhood with City Hall's help. That nothing could be further from the truth. The fact of the matter is the city is unified in terms of having their favorites in every neighborhood. And so what they do is they feed them resources so that they can continue to maintain a degree of control, not wanting each neighborhood to come together independent of the government. So they want to make certain that they pull the superstars from all 20 black neighborhoods, and they are the ones that highlight them and give them all the attention and gravitas and resources too, not wanting them to come together, them 20 neighborhoods on their own. Because at the end of the day, it is a democratic city. They need to ensure their control. And so therefore they will maintain their control at all expenses. They will spare no expenses to maintain control. The sad thing is our so-called the 20 leaders, if you will, I'm using that just as a figure. Those leaders haven't seen that no matter what you do in one neighborhood, it's going to impact blacks in the other. And the need for us to all come together is critical. Here's the challenge. If you are a mother in Chatham and you want Chatham to be fixed, the mayor is saying Chatham is key. And you stand up, you say, yeah, we can fix Chatham. But your husband works in Inglewood. Now, you put all your energy and fight into your silo, Chatham, because that's where you live at, not thinking about Inglewood, saying they need to fix themselves. They need to get their act together. They need to do what we doing over here. That's what I hear a lot of. Your husband get killed at work in Inglewood because we invested nothing, because we didn't come together as a collective. No investment into Inglewood. The guys over there lost, ended up shooting. Your husband is dead now. Could you have done something to bring the whole city together to fix and work on a citywide solution versus you fixing your isolated neighborhood? Now, the mayor benefits from you concentrating on your silo because he get to feed you resources. If you all come together, you'll recognize that, man, we got the same problems in every neighborhood. The city is in position to fix it or to make sure that resources flow to all neighborhoods, but they're picking winners and losers. I'm going to stop here at the 10-minute mark and come back.